We are now watching the second game between AggonyDuck and Noobez in the Aggony 1v1 championships for Total War Attilla Age of Charlemagne. Right now, AggonyDuck is 1-0 up against Noobez, and in the second game he is going to play as the Emirati of Cordoba, and Noobez is going to play as the Kingdom of Murcia. Now, AggonyDuck brought a guard cavalry unit as general. Over on his left flank we see a slinger unit, we see 2 Andalusian archers, 2 Andalusian infantry, a Berber spearman, and 2 Berber light cavalry. Then we see 2 armored archers in his center, and 3 Andalusian warriors in his center. On his right flank, hidden in the forest, we have most likely 2 Andalusian archers, Berber light cav, and Andalusian 2 Andalusian infantry units. For Noobez, we're gonna put this in slow motion. On his left flank, we have 2 horsemen, we have 2 select spearmen and a select spearman. We have 5 select archers. We have 3 regular swords and 1 elite sword, and a royal companion as general. 2 horsemen. Over on his right flank, 2 spearmen, and also an axe unit. So let's press play, let's go into this replay. We once again see that AggonyDuck basically has his army kinda split up in 4 contingents now. We have a left flank, a left mid-center, a right mid-center, and a right flank. It seems like Duck wants to keep these units over here hidden, but of course Noobez knows that there is a unit over here, so he's probably gonna send a cavalry unit to scout in the forest. We see that AggonyDuck is already going to harass these horsemen with his archers. He's probably not going to get a shot off, but he is definitely harassing this side, making it fall back. AggonyDuck reveals his very left flank. Is going to move up against Noobez. Now Noobez is going to flank, or is moving up rather, on the right flank of AggonyDuck. And he's gonna send his cavalry first. He's gonna try and scout this area. He probably knows there is something there, but he does not know what. So he is going to send forward his cavalry. He has his archers in a perfect spot to basically cover the advance. Oh, he is actually not going to scout, right? Yes. Now he's going to scout. He's going to scout. AggonyDuck sees this and he's gonna pull back with his whole contingent over here, and now it's probably gonna reveal himself to Noobez over here. Noobez is pulling back all the way with his right flank back into this forest because of the skirmish units that he cannot deal with. There's just too much skirmishers over here for Noobez to deal with. But he's gonna move up from the forest. I think he's gonna move up until like here, or that's what he should do rather. There's not too much going on right now. I'm gonna put it in fast forward a little bit. We have the skirmishers of AggonyDuck getting into position, so are the skirmishers of Noobez, and I don't know why he's not putting them in loose formation. Right now AggonyDuck is gonna fire with flaming shot. Very interesting. I think he wants to set this forest in fire, because basically the forest would burn down, and I think it would remove the extras, like the deflection bonus you get from being in a forest, so that basically the armored archers will hit as equally as the select archers do. I probably said that in a very wrong manner, but I hope you get my point. The select archers with their 10 armor are no match for these armored archers, which are just crushing them. Who are just crushing them, even though it's a 3 versus 1. Over on this flank, not much happening. AggonyDuck is targeting these horsemen, actually getting a decent amount of kills on the horsemen, 4 kills already. It's now gonna focus fire on these select archers with 2 archers over here. He has a slinger as well that he is not using at the moment. He's moving forward with it. He's sending forward his cavalry. Looks like he is AggonyDuck really wants to push this left flank. As for Noobez, the forest over here is kind of burned down, so the forest is not really going to block the missiles anymore, and therefore these armored archers will shine, of course. See, they only lost about like 3 guys, 8 guys. It's because they have like they have 46 armor compared to these select archers who only have 10 armor. We have cavalry moving forward from AggonyDuck. It looks like he's going to charge these select archers. Noobez needs to pull back now, or they're gonna get massacred on the charge. He's not gonna pull back. They're getting wrecked by archers anyway, and now they're getting charged by the cavalry unit, so this basically means the end for this archer unit. Noobez is gonna fall back with his complete right flank. He's gonna try and link up with the rest of his army over here. And he's gonna charge the Slinger of AggonyDuck. I think this is last game the Slinger got charged while it was unprotected, and now it's happening again, even though the forest is kind of slowing down the cavalry really hard, I should say, so they basically did not get a charge off. It is melee cav, and Slingers can hold their ground in melee actually. Noobez is charging forward. Is running forward with his whole army as well, but this cavalry unit is about to get isolated. It's not going to get a charge on these Andalusian archers. Actually, with an attack order on the Andalusian archers, it's going to run into the Andalusian infantry, not getting a charge off, and is going to get sandwiched by these Berber light cav in the back. So this means basically a cavalry unit is thrown away. We also have over here Berber spearmen charging into the horsemen. The horsemen are dying. Noobez is sending all the support he can. He's charging into AggonyDuck Berber light cav with a sword unit, but was getting countercharged as well at the same time. Over on this flank, he managed to get a cavalry unit into the Andalusian archers of AggonyDuck, and he's going to try to get a second one as well, but AggonyDuck is going to countercharge with a Berber light horseman and Andalusian infantry. So this cavalry unit is basically done, but this cavalry unit managed to kill an archer. It should pull out now, and he should start focus firing on this blob, since this cavalry unit is now about to die anyway. The select archersmen, I don't think they had a charge of, or they have been wrecked by infantry or by friendly fire, but they are losing against this whole blob of infantry right here. AggonyDuck is just pulling back his center, is pulling back his archers. He doesn't want an engagement with all this infantry, he just wants to kite. And now, it's not really a problem that Noobez lost most, if not all, of his cavalry, but I think the problem right now for Noobez is that he still has archers, but I don't think it's enough to deal with the armored archer, because AggonyDuck still has so much cavalry on the field left that he can easily sneak one around to take out all these archers. AggonyDuck is cleaning up this flank. It's gonna get into melee with these select archers, and it's gonna finish up the Berber spearmen. We have the general over here, AggonyDuck charging downhill into the swords of Noobez, and we have a cavalry unit that is gonna charge into the general. Oh no, actually AggonyDuck is just gonna pull away and is gonna just shoot for days at the general. If I was playing, I would have charged the general and sent in a sword, but actually this is better. I like it more. Over this flank, it seems that the select spearmen are winning against the Berber spearmen. The swords won, of course, against the select archer, and right now we're gonna have another engagement. Swords of Murcia got into the Andalusian infantry without them having a charge, but this also counts for this this sword unit. It got charged without being countercharging. So two little micro mistakes right here. Noobez is going to charge into the back with the Andalusian warriors. That is obviously going to be really good for him, and he's moving forward his archers probably to fire at AggonyDuck's archers or to fire at his general. We can see that AggonyDuck is flanking around with his cavalry, probably gonna try and get some charges into these archers. But Noobez sees this and he's gonna send back a select spearman to protect these archers. We've got a spearman that got into the armored archer, is now chasing them off the field, and these swords are also getting into the archers. We have the general of AggonyDuck charging uphill into the horsemen, but are just wrecking them on the charge, really. We have the royal companions trying going in for the charge on the general of AggonyDuck, but I don't think it's gonna get there. And even though it's getting fired upon by archers, I don't think it's really losing a lot of men in the process. I think AggonyDuck should better focus on killing the axemen first with his Andalusian archers. Over here the engagement is going in favor of, well, I don't know. AggonyDuck is surrounded over here by Noobez, but he's winning the fight over here, and over here Noobez is kinda also in a 2 versus 1 situation, but is holding his ground as well. I missed this right here, but it looks like the cavalry of AggonyDuck got caught into these select spearmen from Noobez, causing them to rout and actually just shatter over the field instantly. Looks like these axes have been charged by the general himself, and it's of course going to cause a lot of casualties. Nice focus firing on the general of AggonyDuck by these archers, dealing a lot of damage to the unit. Now, they have routed the general, now it's all about killing the general. I think if AggonyDuck kills the general, it is basically over, since these archers start routing already. Noobez is winning the fight over here, but I think there's too much on the field for AggonyDuck.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Fighting with fire arrows and removing the furthest bonus, and probably getting some trying to get some morale penalties on the unit as well. You can see that the morale is down to 14. The units are wavering. Now it's not wavering anymore, since it's got into combat that it can win. And right now it looks like Noobez is grinding it out in the infantry fight. Is actually routing this unit over here. The Berber spearman over here is running back, and it can potentially deal with all the cavalry over here, since the archers are basically almost out of ammo. A simple calf charge will deal with the infantry over here, and now the slingers of course are getting beaten by the spearmen, but everything routs due to army losses kicking in, and yeah, AggonyDuck takes it 2-0. These swords from the Kingdom of Mercia really were worth their money, as well as these select spearmen. Probably killed off that cavalry unit from AggonyDuck. The general didn't do much other than dying, unfortunately. The select archers do have a decent amount of kills, actually, regardless on what those kills were. For AggonyDuck, we can see that his Andalusian infantry didn't really pay off, but it was the calf that... Actually, no. Hang on. This Andalusian warrior did great. His general did also great. This Andalusian infantry, wow, almost 300 kills. Really carried hard. This Berber light calf also did amazing. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in game 3.